Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs, and this is another Making Comics 101 bonus issue. And today we're going to talk a little bit about scripting. We've already covered scripting a little bit in another episode, but this one this is more of an exercise. So I have a script template that I want to share with you. As I mentioned before, there is no right or wrong way or any particular format for a comic book script, but this is one version that I want to share with you guys. It is free. It's part of the Comic Maker Starter Kit. If you go to serkworks.com, you can download this again for free. I do have other script formats in the Comic Maker Toolkit. That kit is a lot larger, and there is a price to it. I think it may be on sale right now as I am uploading this, but that's up to you. But like I've mentioned before, when I do these exercises, I try to use the free versions so more people can kind of follow along and participate. So I'm just going to kind of show you how this template works. If you've already downloaded this template, you will see that the script that I'm writing right now that I'm going to show you guys, it's already in there as an example, at least, and it's just the first 3 pages just to kind of show you. But I figure it might be helpful also, even if you've read through that, for me to kind of go along with you and show you the process of how I kind of put this script together and how this format works and everything and what I'm thinking about. Again, we've talked about script, some of the aspects of script writing, but this is more just kind of how I format a script, and again, hopefully you'll find it helpful. So here we go. So as you can see at the top, we've got the title, the issue number, the draft, your name, your email contact information if this is something you're submitting to somebody. And again, I don't know what different editors or whatever might be looking at, if they're looking for submissions or what format they may like to see. I don't know if they like this format or not, but anyway. And then now you've got basically each thing's broken down into pages. We're going to start with page 1, and then we have our 3 tables. In the first table, we've got our panel. So this is just going to describe what's going on within that particular panel on the page. After that, we've got description. So if we need any setup, anything in this box isn't going to be something that that you're actually going to read in the book. Okay, I guess I'll just go ahead and read what I have here. It says, here's where the description goes. The contents of the description box will not appear in print. It is used to describe the scene and convey important visual cues and the story elements to the artist. Follow the sample format below and replace your text with your own story. Okay, and then when we move over to the caption dialog box, now this is going to be actually what you're going to see in print. Here's where you enter captions like where the scene takes place, dialogue characters are saying, and onomatopoeic. is that the right way? Onomatopoeia, so onomatopoeic sound effects like pow, bam, and boom, or boom and bang. And so anyway, so you kind of get the gist. So that's kind of how we're breaking it down. So one is this, on the left side we've got the description, and on the right side we've got what's actually going on the page. So we're going to start. I'm just going to start typing out the story. Now on the very left hand column, you'll see where it says panels. We've got some numbers there. The first number is going to be the page number, and then there's going to be a decimal there, and then the next will be the panel number. So it'll just go down page 1 dot panel 1, page 1 dot panel 2, and so forth until we get to page 2. I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be the script, or at least part of the script, for the story that I've been talking about, Concrete Jungle, featuring our hero Wild Thing, who lives in this sort of post-apocalyptic world where our city is crumbling and overgrown by vegetation, and he's sort of a Spider-Man-esque character who kind of swings around and fights crime and everything, and has the ability to control this vegetation, and you know, so that's the setting, and that's kind of the story we're telling. So yeah, sort of Spider-Man type in this dystopian world. First off, what we're going to do, the first thing we want to do is we want to create an establishing shot. We want to let people know where we are. Okay, so page 1, panel 1, in our description, let's see. Bird's eye view of a large metropolitan city, dilapidated and overrun with plant life. That's our visual. Now, what's going to go on in the page? We're going to do a caption. We're just going to put the concrete jungle, and this could be a logo. You know, this could reiterate that that's the title of our story and everything. So show visually and kind of get that title in there. We've got panel 2. We're going to go with a wide shot on this. Now, a wide shot, I mean, before we have bird's eye view, so we're actually zooming in, but it's still a pretty wide shot. So our hero is peering down at the streets below where Dr. Paradox has taken a hostage. So, you know, getting an idea what's going on here. Now, here we're going to go ahead and we're going to indicate who's speaking. So we're going to go Wild Thing and then put a colon after that, and then in parentheses just to let you know kind of what he's saying. He's going to be shouting, so I want to put that in parentheses so you know kind of the tone of voice that he's using, and he's like, "Let the girl go, Paradox." And then let's move down to this is going to be panel number 3, page 1, panel number 3. This is going to be a medium shot. So again, we're kind of zooming in. Medium shot of Dr. Paradox gripping a woman in his mechanical claws. And then Dr. Paradox is going to be, "This is none of your concern, cretin." All right, and that's gonna, that's gonna round out page 1. So what we're basically seeing, we're kind of zooming in. We see our hero perched on the top of a building down below on another building. We've got this villain, and he's sort of taken this woman hostage. And then we'll go on from there. We're gonna go down to page 2. And just kind of repeat the process. So page 2, panel 1, we're going to type in all our descriptions and caption. Of course, all this is already done for you. All you have to do is you have to go through and delete the story that I already put there and put your own stuff, but I just want to kind of show you the process here. So in our description of what's happening in this panel, and I haven't really established if this is a widescreen or not. So if I don't establish that, that means just kind of like an average or leave it up to my discretion when I go to do my thumbnails. So Wild Thing swings down from a vine to engage the villain, and then we've got a sound effects, and I'm just indicating that with SFX colon and swoosh. So that's the sound effect that he's making as he kind of swings down. So we're going with panel number 2, page 2, panel 2. Wild Thing grabs a handful of vines on his descent. So if you can imagine some of the action that's going on, maybe we got close-ups on his hand, and of course I can indicate this probably better, but maybe you see a close-up on his hand grabbing and then swinging from hand to hand or something, whatever. But again, I want to leave this up to my own interpretation when I go and start laying all this stuff out. So in page 2, panel 2, there's not going to be any dialogue or any captions, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank, and I'm going to move on to page page 2, panel 3. And I don't know why I put the wrong number there, but anyway. So Wild Thing reaches out for the hostage and stares Dr. Paradox with the vines that have now come to life. And we get a little back and forth between our characters. Wild Thing says, "Trade you," and Dr. Paradox says, "Curse you, you primitive prat." And down to page 3, panel 4, Wild Thing swings to safety with the freed prisoner. And then Wild Thing is going to be saying he won't be bothering you anymore. And page 3, panel 1, we move in for a close-up on Wild Thing with the dialogue, Wild Thing saying, "Were you harmed?" And on panel 2, we get a close-up on the woman, and the woman says, "No, thanks to you, I'm fine. I'm so grateful." And here's where we turn the tables on our hero as the woman removes her disguise to reveal the wretched face of her true identity, Madame Masquerade. And then Madame Masquerade says, "So grateful that you fell into my trap, dearie." And then in panel 3, upon learning this revelation, Wild Thing is clearly taken aback. And then we have Wild Thing saying, "Masquerade, I should have known." And yeah, so that is basically, that's as far as we're going to go with this story. Obviously, the story can continue on, and but you know, I'm just trying to show you a little bit about how to structure a script with this particular template. You can tell whatever kind of stories you want, but hopefully this helps. And again, I just want to reiterate: you can script your story any way you want. You can go Marvel method, you can go full script, you can go something like this. I've used a number of different methods, and I like to experiment. So don't forget, you can download this template at Serkworks.com. It's part of the Comic Maker Starter Kit. And yeah, that's all I got to say today. I will see you guys later, and that is all. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me at Serkworks on social media, and now you can support the work that I do on Patreon. Do you like making comics? Then go to Serkworks.com and pick up the Comic Maker Starter Kit. It's packed full of fonts, brushes, templates, and more. And best of all, it's totally free.